Hello, hello, beautiful people of the internet. We are here. We are here a little bit earlier today. A little bit earlier today. Hope everyone is doing well. Still considered a night stream though. It's almost 8 p.m. Almost 8 p.m. It's a lot warmer here today than it was yesterday. I mean, granted, it's only like 32 degrees, but still, the past few days has been like in the teens almost. So I'm okay with this. Kate is first in chat. What's up, Kate? I'm gonna let everybody get in here. Gonna let everybody get in here. While we do that, we're gonna go ahead and pull up comments on the second monitor here. Get that taken care of. Get that taken care of. What's up, Christopher? Giant says first. Almost, dude. Almost, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. Let me see. No, you're right. You're right, Kate. The stream sounds weird. You're right. The stream sounds weird. It's not on your phone. I'm glad you said that. I had two audio inputs going at the same time, so probably created a bit of an echo there, but we should be good now. Let's get plugged in. Headset's about to die. We don't want that. Don't want that. What's up, Mike? What's up, Kay? What's up, Style Alert? Yeah, I'm glad you said something, Kay. I'm glad you said something. That's what happens. That's the sound that you hear if I accidentally have two audio inputs going at the same time. So if I've got like my mic set up twice, that's what you hear. Man, I'm gonna have to get a new charger. This one does not want to stay in here. How you doing tonight, Giant? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. We're gonna send out one more notification real quick. One more notification real quick over to the chat. Sounds better. That's better. Good, 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 good. I think we're sorted now. I think we're all good. I think we're all good now. Let's see. Also, guys, we are extremely close to 10.4K. Let me find that. Let me find that exact number there. Did that fall out again, man? I don't know what's going on with this. What's up, UK? We are at 10,371, man. We're close. We are close. I can't get the charger to stay in. It's like it's really loose or something. I don't know. We're going to have to just like... Hopefully that'll stick. It's going to fall out any second now. But anyway, what are we going to be talking about tonight, guys? Tonight we are going to be talking about make different choices. Make different choices. Wonderbro, can you please raise your volume just a bit? Let me see. Tell me if this sounds any better. I don't want it to get distorted. I don't want to raise it too high and it get distorted, but tell me if that sounds any better. This mic is new, so we're still in the process of messing with the settings and trying to get everything just right. So you know, you might have to work with me a little bit until we find those sweet spots, but we'll eventually get it. We'll eventually get it. All right. Hopefully that's a bit better. So tonight we're going to be talking about make different choices. Right? Make different choices. So we might as well just jump right into it. Yes, that helped. Okay, good. We might as well just jump right into it. So make different choices, right? If you've been following for a while, you already know what the deal is. You already know what we talk about here. We talk about retraining the brain, rewiring the brain, getting to a point where you lose the fear of the anxiety, getting to the point where you show your brain that there's no real danger. Really, that's the end goal at the end of the day. Showing your brain that there's no real danger, not adding fear to fear, right? There's several different ways you can put that, but at the end of the day, we're trying to retrain your brain, right? That's what it comes down to. We're trying to rewire your brain. We're trying to get you over this anxiety crap, okay? So how do we go about doing that? Chat? A million different ideas out there, a million different assumptions, but it's going to come down to two things at the end of the day, right? And you know what the two main keys are. It's going to come down to two things at the end of the day. Living your life in the face of the anxiety so that you can show your brain that the danger is not real, right? And no longer fighting with those thoughts and feelings. Think about it. If you use the two main keys, right? I want you to think long and hard. If you use the two main keys Okay, what does that accomplish? When we say stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings and live your life, it cuts out both the physical and mental compulsions, right? So you're no longer setting your brain off with your prefrontal cortex, that's your thinking mind, because you're no longer stressing over these thoughts and these feelings. You're no longer adding to them with all the worry, right? Right? So that takes care of that mental compulsion there. Now, physically, when we say just live your life, that takes care of the physical compulsions, right? You're no longer hiding in the same old corner. You're no longer, throwing a blanket over your head every time you feel anxious and shaking back and forth. You're no longer pacing around the house, right? So the two main keys cover any sort of compulsion that there is, right? If you're busy living your life, which means you're going about your life as normally as possible, you can go at your own pace, of course. But if you're busy living your life, right, and you're no longer fighting with those thoughts and feelings mentally, then you've cut out both physical and mental compulsions, okay? So, two main keys. Live your life. Stop mentally fighting with the thoughts and feelings. Therefore, you're going to cut out both the physical and mental compulsions. You're going to stop triggering the amygdala. You're going to show the amygdala, right, that there is no real danger. Now you're speaking the amygdala's language. What is the amygdala if you're new here? It is that little tricky part of your brain that is responsible for all the anxiety you feel. It's like the size of an almond, and it's causing all of this, all right? So, okay, the two main keys are designed to retrain and desensitize that amygdala by cutting out the physical and mental compulsions, aka live your life as normally as you can and stop mentally fighting with the thoughts and feelings. You are going to show your brain the truth. Now, how do you really go about that, right? Well, you've got to make some changes. You absolutely have to make some changes. Now, if you're anything like I used to be, okay, claiming to use acceptance, right? Claiming to use acceptance. It's definitely on Old Mates in The Reason He Can't Hear Audio, if someone would let him know in chat. Claiming to use acceptance, right? But you're not making any sort of choices in your life. Now it's time. Oh, you guys love these moments. It's time to get honest with yourself. You guys love these moments. It's time to get honest with yourself. It's time to be brutally. We're going to play another round of brutally honest with yourself, right? Are you making changes to your life? Have you heard about the two main keys? Have you come on my channel and learned about the two main keys? Live your life, stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings, and then you've started making real changes to your life? Or are you still doing the same things that you've been doing since you first found my channel? Are you still doing the same things that you've been doing since you first found my channel, right? You don't have to be perfect, and you're allowed to go at your own pace, but I need you to ask yourself that question honestly. Are you still doing the same things you've been doing since you first found my channel, or are you actually making changes? So, for example, let's say you wake up with a lot of morning anxiety, right? Let's say you wake up with a lot of morning anxiety. That's something that's bugged you for quite some time on your journey. You learned about the two main keys. Okay, Wonder Bro says live your life, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, accepting attitude and just living your life. Show your brain there's no real danger, right? You come on here and you learn that. But every morning when you get this morning anxiety, you do the same thing that you've been doing for the past, I don't know, 4 years. You lay in bed. You don't get your day started. You lay there. You dread the anxiety. You lay there and you think to yourself, oh, man, I hate this. You lay there and you think to yourself, how am I going to get through the day? You come on the channel. You learn the advice, but you're not making any real changes. How many people can say that? If you can say that, we're not trying to shame you. We're just trying to point out to you your mistake. You're not making any real changes, right? For the longest time, I was the same way. I knew about acceptance, wasn't making any real changes to my life. Every time I was anxious, I did the same things that I used to do before I knew about acceptance. So there was really no real changes being made. Every time I was highly anxious, I would get on Google. Every time I was highly anxious, I would call somebody up and start rambling, try to get away from it. I don't want to feel this way, man. I feel so bad. And I would do the same things that I've been doing for years, right? Even after I had learned about acceptance. So there had to come a point where I had to make real changes. And there has to come a point for you where you've got to make real changes. That means you've got to start to move a different way. And when I say that, I just mean you got to start to live a different way. You've got to start to go about things in a different way. There's got to be real changes, right? So I don't want to say a lot of people, but there is still a handful of people out there that learn about acceptance. They're not making real changes. They learn about acceptance, but when they wake up with this is just an example, but when they wake up with the morning anxiety, they're still laying in bed, not even trying to get out of bed. They're still laying there fighting with anxiety. They're not making any real changes. Or they learn about acceptance, but every time they feel panicky, they do the same old coping methods. They do the same old compulsions. They do the same old worry, right? Or every time they feel highly anxious, they stop living. They start spending spending more time in bed. They stop listening to their favorite music. They start, they're not showing their brain that the danger's not real. They're not accepting the feelings. They're succumbing to them, right? The feelings come and they stop living and they start doing what the feelings want them to do, right? They become a person who's now on a leash to the feelings, okay? So then comes when I tell people you got to make real changes, you got to live for you got to show your brain this is nonsense. Then comes the next big question that I get from some people, which is, I feel like I'm fighting it if I go against it and just live my life instead. You're not fighting it. You're keeping an attitude of acceptance while it's there. So let's say you feel highly anxious, but you've made the choice, okay, this alarm is not needed. This is a false alarm. It shouldn't be here. You've made that choice, right? That doesn't mean you're going to start living life and the whole time you're living life, you're going to tell yourself, oh, well, I don't, this feels wrong to be doing this. I feel like so anxious. I should just go lay down in bed. Why am I doing this? You do it because you know the truth. You live your life because you know this anxiety is uncalled for. You know it is a false alarm, and you're going to start to make real changes, right? Right? Now, it would be a completely different story if I had someone come to me and tell me, hey, Wonder Bro, I've got COVID, right? What do you suggest I do? And then I say, okay, well, go out and live your life and go on walks and walk your dog and clean your whole house. And, it would be a different story. If you come to me and tell me you have COVID, I'm going to say go get some rest. If you come to me and tell me I have anxiety problems, I have a lot of anxiety present, I'm not going to tell you to go lay down and get some rest. You're not ill. There's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not sick, okay? And that might offend some people, but I'm here to tell you the truth. You're not ill. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. Don't get me wrong. I understand what you're going through is not a walk in the park. I understand what you're going through is very uncomfortable. I understand what you're going through is not the easiest thing in the world. I understand all that, but you got to understand what I'm trying to say. You're not ill. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. I'm not going to go tell you to lay down and rest, right? Over something that laying down and resting is the problem, right? That is the problem. So you got to understand. It's different. If you come to me and tell me you got a real illness, I'm going to go tell you to get some rest. You come at me and tell me you got anxiety, I'm not going to say go lay down and rest. I'm going to say you've got anxiety, which is a false alarm. Anxiety is nothing more than a false alarm. Anxiety is nothing more than a brain that has been trained to be anxious. Anxiety is nothing more than a brain that's popping off unnecessary false alarms. I'm not going to tell you to go and lay down and rest over that. What I am going to tell you to do is make changes. Live your life. Live in a different way. Stop living for the anxiety. Live for you. Right? That's what I am going to tell you to do, because we're not talking about a real illness here. We're talking about some faulty wiring. We're talking about some faulty wiring, not a real illness. So I'm not going to tell you to rest. I'm going to tell you to make changes, right? You got to show your brain this anxiety is not needed. So people, they say, okay, I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to live my life. And then they start living their life. And they're like, Wonder Bro, I still feel anxious while I'm living my life. And I say, that's okay. That's the point. You're living your life anyway, though. You're living your life in the face of the false alarm. And you're proving to your brain the false alarm is not needed. So while you're living your life, if you still feel anxious, that is okay. Keep the accepting attitude. Keep the accepting attitude, okay? I'm living my life. I feel anxious. That's fine. I'm going to keep doing it anyway because I know a false alarm is a false alarm, right? So, sorry to get kind of sidetracked there, but I wanted to cover some of the more common misconceptions about this whole acceptance thing, thinking that, oh, if I start accepting, I should feel like $1,000,000. Not true. It takes some time for a brain to learn. Another common misconception, if I start accepting, but I don't feel like living my life, but I'm doing it anyway, that feels wrong. It's not wrong. You're doing it because you know it's a false alarm. You're doing it because it's all bullshit anyway, right? You're doing it because you're rewiring. Okay? And the whole time you're doing it, if you still feel anxious, that's fine. It takes time. Keep the accepting attitude while you live your life, right? It'll become real for you soon enough. We're not dealing with a real illness where I'm going to tell you to go get some rest. We're dealing with faulty wiring where I'm going to tell you to do the work, right? Big difference there. So sorry to get sidetracked. Just wanted to cover some common misconceptions. Anyway, we got to make real changes. We got to make real changes. If for the past 4 years you've woken up anxious, and when you wake up anxious, you just lay there for the next hour and sit and worry in your head, there's got to be some real changes. If for the past year, let's say you've had a phobia of germs, and every time you touch a doorknob, you wash your hands 16 times. There's got to be some real changes made. Let's say for the past however many years, when you have high anxiety, you go and sit in a corner and you get really quiet and you stop socializing. There's got to be some changes made there. Let's say if every day for the past year, whatever, you wake up really anxious and for the rest of the day you don't do much, you just kind of stay to yourself and stay low key and try to hide from everything and everybody. There's got to be some real changes there. Let's say for the past 2 years, right, every time you feel really anxious, you get on Dr. Google. There's got to be some real changes there. All these little actions that you are taking, which some people call compulsions, some people call coping methods, whatever the heck you want to call them, all these little actions that you are taking are telling your brain that there is something wrong when there's not, that the danger is real when it's not, right? The brain is very smart. It watches your reactions. If every time you're anxious, you change up your life to suit the anxiety, if every time you're anxious, you do some sort of mental or physical compulsion, you start worrying, or you start sitting in the corner, or you start getting all quiet and you stop socializing with the people around you, whatever it is you do, if you start to change your life for anxiety, every time you're anxious, the brain notices this. The brain picks up on this, right? So you've made changes for the anxiety, and now you got to do the opposite. You got to make changes for yourself, okay? You got into this cycle because you trained your brain to be this way with the way that you react to this stuff, with the choices that you have made. Well, now you can reverse that with better new choices, right? Now you can reverse that with better new choices. So if each day you wake up anxious and you're not making good choices, it's time to make some really good choices. It's time to make some changes, right? Now that means when you wake up, you're probably not going to feel like getting up out of bed and having a productive day, but you're going to do it anyway. And the whole time you do it, you're going to keep an accepting attitude, right? I might not feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it because I know this is a false alarm. I might not feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it because I know there's no real danger here. I might not feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it because I want to prove to my brain what's up, right? So when you start to implement the two main keys, live your life, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. Of course, you can go at your own pace, but when you start to implement these two main keys and you start to make some real changes, okay, while you're doing this, keep that accepting attitude. So if you wake up tomorrow and you're like, okay, it's time to make some real changes. I'm going to get up. Instead of what I normally do, I lay here for an hour, and that's showing my brain that there must be some sort of problem, right? So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make a real change here. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go do the dishes instead, okay? Now, while you're doing that, you might not feel like it. You might feel very anxious, of course, but you're reminding yourself, it's okay if I feel anxious. I'm making a good choice anyway. It's okay if I feel anxious. My brain's watching. This is good for me. It's okay if I feel anxious. I'm going against its advice, right? Right? I'm going against its advice. So if you want to really start implementing the two main keys, which is stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings, aka have an accepting mental attitude, not a worried mental attitude, an accepting mental attitude, and live in your life, right? If you want to start implementing those two main keys, there has to be big changes made. You got to start making some actual changes. You can't claim to use the two main keys and do all the same old crap you've been doing, right? Everybody that's watching this video now is completely capable. It just comes down to making those changes and making the choice to make those changes. And in the heat of the moment, when you really don't feel like it, that's when you're going to do those changes anyway, right? Go at your own pace. Keep living your life while you have that accepting attitude. That's the most simple way to put it. Live your life and keep an accepting attitude. Some people might think, well, how are these little things going to help me? How is living my life going to help me? You got to understand, the brain's very smart and the brain is watching. If you continue using the same old coping methods and compulsions like you always have, the brain's just going to assume that the anxiety it's given you is correct. But if you start living for you, even in little ways, even at your own pace, if you start making little changes and living for you while you're anxious, the brain's going to say, they're starting to move differently. They're starting to go about this in a different way. Maybe this alarm is not needed, right? Right? So start to make some changes, guys. I know you don't necessarily feel like it, but then again, this is not a real illness, so I'm not going to tell you to go lay down and get some rest. I'm going to tell you to rewire your brain. And how do you do that? Live your life while keeping that accepting attitude. Okay? Okay? All right, you guys. Beautiful people. Whew. that was a mouthful. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and it does help the channel grow. Kate, thank you so much. Thank you so much for always reminding people to do that, because I often forget. Sanchez, what is up, dude? Mike, what is up? Arnold, what is good, dude? What about OCD? I'm not a huge fan of labels because we tackle these things the same way, in my opinion. So everything that I just said on this stream, apply it to your OCD. If you like labels, that's on you. But apply it to whatever it is you're going through that's anxiety related. You have to stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. Let the anxiety play out. Feel it to heal it while you just live your life. Live your life with the accepting attitude, right? No coping methods, no compulsions. You're just doing what you want to do while keeping the accepting attitude. You'll see what happens. You'll see what happens, right? So best of luck to you. Let's see. A death in the family. I understand, Sherry. I understand completely. That is not fun. Not fun at all to experience loss. I'm sorry for your loss. Get right back on track, though. Get right back on track. Don't let it derail you too far. Should I sit with the fear if I get anxious at night? So I think what you're getting at is, what do I, if it's bedtime and I'm trying to sleep and there's not really so much living your life that I can do, right? Do I just sit with the anxiety? Well, it's always a good idea to never go against with a fight with the anxiety, right? So yeah, you're allowing yourself to feel it. You're allowing yourself to feel it. You can be with it. You're not trying to fight it. You're not trying to do anything to fix it. There's nothing to fix. You're just going to let it play out while you don't give it so much importance. Live your life, the accepting attitude, right? Let's see. Let's see. Letting go of second fear literally feels like bungee jumping. It works, that's for sure. So basically what you're saying there is letting go of trying to fight with the thoughts and feelings, letting go of using compulsions and coping methods, basically just leaving it all alone and doing what you want to do. Kind of feels like a leap of faith, which I understand. At first it does kind of feel like a leap of faith. You're used to using all your bad habits, and when you start to move a different way, it kind of feels like, oh, this is a business, what's going to happen here? But just keep at it. Keep at it. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Thank you, Chris. Absolutely, Sherry. Absolutely, dude. Let me see. So this has fell out of my headset about 16 times tonight. Oh, man, I need a new one. I need a new one. Does it come down to just willpower? Not necessarily. It comes down to just making the choice. Comes down to making the choice. I wouldn't call it willpower. Willpower to me kind of indicates that you're coming at it with an attitude of grit my teeth and just no, stop. We're not trying to grit our teeth and just struggle through it. We're just making the choice. Hey, today I'm going to live my life with these feelings. Today I'm going to live my life no matter what thoughts and feelings are there, anxiety related. I'm going to let it happen. There's nothing I can really do about it. Fighting against it's not going to help. Today, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm going to drop these compulsions and coping methods. They're just sending my brain the wrong idea, the wrong message, right? Today, I'm just going to live my life for me with the accepting attitude. And I'm going to have a productive day no matter how I feel, right? So it's not really willpower, because willpower kind of indicates to me that you're just gritting your teeth and trying your best just to struggle through it. It's just a choice. It's more or less just a choice, not necessarily willpower. It's just you're making better choices. Right? You're making better choices. Music, brother, you're right. I forgot the music. Croft, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? Let's see. Hey, well, I mean, if you're serious about that, Arnold, do what the title of this stream says. Start making different choices. Now, I know you're going to obsess about that when I say that, but if you're serious about being sick of the way that you feel, start moving different. Start making different choices. And I know you're going to come back with some obsession on that, but I wish you would just leave it at that and just allow yourself to feel the feelings, to have the thoughts while you make different choices for yourself. You do what you want to do. You don't do what the anxiety wants you to do. You just accept that it's there, right? You're not trying to fight against it. You accept that there's false alarms going off because you know what's going on, and you start to make choices for you, not for it. You start to make choices for you, not for it, right? You're not alone. My grandma is about to pass as I speak. Pray for you and your family. Sorry for your loss. I hate to hear that, Christopher. Not easy, not easy. Hey, these are good life skills, not just anxiety skills. You know, acceptance is always a good life skill to have. It's futile. It's futile to fight against what is, right? You're just adding stress to the picture. You're just adding stress to the situation. So, good life skills, not just good anxiety skills. Skull meat on pizza. Hey, what's up, Tony? Now, I get what you're saying too, NS, but it was a good opportunity for me to make that point there. So, what's up, David? David and Tony, how you guys doing? Hey, guys, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe, man.
Donation.
Hey, Miss Moon. Miss Moon. Thank you so much, Miss Moon. Can we get a shout out in the chat for her, please? Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Absolutely insane. We're on a 71-day streak, chat. Give yourselves a big pat on the back, man. We wouldn't be here without you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Moon. Thank you. Mwah. How to deal with anxiety caused by anger. I'm about to slap a bitch at work. Okay, well, first and foremost, we're not trying to catch any charges. Hold on, okay? Let me speak for a second. All right, we're not trying to catch any charges, so just let me explain. So, anger, anxiety caused by anger, or just anger in general. How do you handle anger in general? How do you handle anxiety in general? How do you handle the two when they go together? Take a step back, right? First and foremost, take a step back. You're aware of the emotion, right? So you're becoming aware of the anxiety. I'm aware that I'm anxious. You're becoming aware of the anger. I'm aware that there's anger there, right? Right? So you're aware that the emotion is there. Now, a lot of people say, well, of course I'm aware it's there. But most people don't take a second to become aware. They just act on it. The fact that you had enough self-control to come in here and ask me, hey, how do I deal with this emotion I'm feeling, tells me that you got a little bit more self-awareness than most people, because most people would have already went for the slap. So now that you're aware of the emotion, we can work with the emotion. How do you let an emotion be? You become aware of it and you feel it, but you don't necessarily have to act on it. People think if you have an emotion or a feeling that you have to act on it. That's not the case. You do not have to act on the way that you feel. So you're aware of the way that you feel and you're allowing yourself to feel it. You're not getting into your head saying things, oh, I don't want to feel this. Again, resistance is futile. So you're becoming aware of the way that you feel. You're allowing that a feeling to be, and you're just kind of watching it. You're not getting up in your head adding second fear or wonder, bro. Can you even add second fear to anger? Sure you can. You can get up in your head and tell yourself, oh, I don't want to feel this. This is horrible. You can add second fear to anger. So everything that you've ever learned about anxiety, you can apply to this feeling too, right? Become aware of it. Accept it. Don't add a bunch of mental blah, blah to it. Let it play out. Make choices for you. Don't make choices for the feeling. Make choices for you. Let's say that again, because that was a good one. Make choices for you. Don't make choices for the feeling. Hey, no problem, NS. That's why I do what I do, man. That's why I do what I do. Good stream tonight, guys. Good stream tonight. I feel like we tackled a lot of fair points. A bit of a motivation stream, a little bit more chill than our typical motivation streams, but I can still see this motivating somebody out there to make different choices, right? To mix things up a bit. So become aware, accept the way you feel, understand that you can make choices from that point, right? While you're accepting the way that you feel, you can then make choices from that point for you, not for the feeling, right? It's like training a muscle, Style Alert. I understand that it's not the easiest thing in the world. Don't get me wrong. I understand it can be a bit difficult, but it's like training a muscle. It really is. It absolutely is. I know I don't have the live sign turned on, but it's because it just turns into a big, ugly ball. As long as I'm not using my good camera and I'm just using my webcam, then the live sign just turns into a big, ugly mess anyway. So I've just not been turning it on. I need to get my new camera charged, hooked up, and going, and start to get used to that. I need to make a different choice here, right? Hey, I think that's a compliment, Arnold. I think that's a compliment. Who doesn't like Harry Potter? I need to get me one of those pop filters for this. And just chilling with my peeps. Hope you're doing good tonight, old mate. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I haven't checked in a while, but quite some time ago I checked just to see how many people that watch the channel are actually subscribed, and it's a pretty uneven ratio. So if you're gonna watch the channel, it takes 2 seconds, man. It takes 2 seconds. Subscribe. Actually join us here. Actually become a part of the family, or don't. That's cool too. But it would be cool if you did. It would be cool if you did. We're almost at that 10.4K, so. Well, first and foremost, we don't really dive into a whole lot of medication talk around here. We kind of leave that up between personal opinion, talk it out with your doctor sort of thing. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Sounds like you are new to the channel. You have found an amazing resource. Not to toot my own horn, but you have found an amazing resource here. 2 main keys is what we talk about here, right? If you're new, you need to know this. 2 main keys. Live your life. That means cut back on the compulsions, cut back on the coping methods, and do what you want to do. So live your life, even if you feel anxious, right? Cut back on the compulsions, cut back on the coping methods. While you're living your life, you're no longer, this is the second of our 2 main keys, you're going to stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings. That means mentally, you're going to try to cut back on, oh, I don't want to feel this way, I hate this is horrible. Or when you get a thought, you say, oh, God, I hope that doesn't happen, and you start to go down that rabbit hole. We're going to try to do our best to cut back on fighting with the thoughts and feelings, right? Just letting them be, which I know is not always comfortable, but just letting them be and living your life. So basically, we're cutting back on mental and physical compulsions. We're living our life the way we want to live it, and we're no longer fighting so much mentally with the thoughts and feelings. We're just letting them be. We're reminding ourselves when they come, that's okay, right? It's okay. We're going to let it be. So that's the 2 main keys. If you're brand new here, you gotta know those 2 main keys. So there's the 2 main keys. From that point moving forward, I would say hit the notification bell. Keep up with the streams. You can deepen your knowledge on this. As long as you got those 2 main keys, you start implementing those, you'll start making progress. But if you want to go a bit deeper into it, make sure you hit the notification bell, catch our live streams. You can always catch up on the past live streams too. They get uploaded to the channel. All right, guys, we're going to switch on over. Okay, yeah. I need to update the post-stream thing. I don't know why. It should have automatically updated. Guess not. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. It's not the easiest thing in the world, cutting out mental and physical compulsions, but it's what's going to get you there. You're allowed to go at your own pace. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Anxiety wants you to do something different, Arnold. Anxiety wants you to cower from it. Anxiety wants you to sit around and beg for something different. Anxiety wants you to not do all the things that you want to do. So that's why it doesn't feel natural. But I'm not going to tell you to go lay down and get some rest because you're not dealing with a real illness. I'm going to tell you to go against it and continue to do what you want to do anyway, even though anxiety makes you feel like you don't want to do it, because that's anxiety's job. Its job is to go make you lay in a corner and hide from a threat that's not really there. So unlike a real illness, I'm not going to tell you to go get some rest. I'm going to tell you to keep doing what you want to do, even if you don't feel like doing it, because of course you're not going to feel like doing it, because that's anxiety's job, is to make you not feel like doing the things you want to do, but you're going to do the things you want to do anyway, because it's a false alarm and it's all bullshit, right? Pooty says, check your PayPal. Pooty with the $50 tip, dude. Thank you so much, Pooty, man. I appreciate you. Nice, dude. Nice. I appreciate you, Pooty. You know what that means, chat? That means, first and foremost, we should show all the love in the world to Miss Moon and Pooty, man, coming in with a $50 tip. That also means that we're going to 65, and we're going to a 72-day streak, man. We're so close to 100. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, Pooty. Huge shout out. Can we get some emojis going in the chat for Pooty, man? And Miss Moon, thank you guys so much, moving us on to a 72-day streak. Thank you guys. Thank you. Been getting hit hard lately. I'm just like, fuck it, I hope it does happen then. Yeah, just basically nonchalantly agreeing with the thoughts and feelings, but then living your life anyway. Just being a sarcastic asshole towards the thoughts and feelings, but living your life anyway, because it's a false alarm. We'll meme some shit or laugh in your brain for the move. Yeah, I think that's all human minds and human brains though, Pooty. I think that's all human minds and human brains. The brain mimics things. It's just memories. Did the volume go down? I can turn it back up a little bit. Sorry, the screens are different. The screens they've all got their own little settings and stuff, and I don't know, it's weird, but I can turn it back up for you a little bit. My apologies. I gotta get my shit together, man. We're actually gonna switch over to my other mic real quick. Alright, there we go. Did you guys miss this? Did you miss the old mic? We're gonna switch to this one for just a second. Just a second, guys. My other mic is stationary and connected to a big metal arm, so I can't really move around with it. So I gotta use this one for a minute. At some point you gotta face the anxiety, man. At some point you gotta do what you want to do, and you gotta stop letting anxiety lead you around on a leash. Like I said, it's not a real illness, so I can't tell you to go and rest from it, right? You're just giving into it. So I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is if you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with these things, they want you to do what they want, you know, what they want you to do. But you gotta start doing what you want to do. You can accept the feeling, and you should be. You can accept the feeling, but you can still do what you want to do. Right? And that's just a hurdle you're going to have to overcome, right? Nobody can do that for you, but anxiety is a false alarm, and if you do what anxiety wants you to do, then you're just agreeing with the false alarm, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't be, because you have the knowledge to know that it's a false alarm, right? You've watched this channel long enough to know that, so you shouldn't be agreeing with it. Now, if you've got a real illness, I'm going to tell you to go lay down and rest, right? But anytime you're living life based on a feeling, right? Anxiety's there, and therefore you're not going to do what you want to do because anxiety is there. I'm going to tell you all day long that that's wrong, right? Because anxiety is a false alarm. There's no real danger. Your brain doesn't know that, and it's your job to prove it, right? So, of course, I can't tell you, okay, go lay down. You're anxious, go lay down and get some rest. I can't do that because that's not how this game's played. Right? You want to get over these false alarms, you got to prove to your brain that they're false alarms. How? Two main keys. Live your life, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. Thanks for everything from Leaf from Life. Thank you for the $10 tip, man. I appreciate you. I don't see you in the chat, but $10 tip says thanks for everything from Leaf from Life. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. I will not forget to add that, I promise, in just a second. I will not forget to add that. Yeah, Arnold is a great DJ. Arnold's a great DJ. Me and Arnold were jamming out with the bot today. Ah, Sanchez, they did it to you, man. Sanchez. Okay, here's what we'll do. I know exactly why Sanchez tipped the $4. So I think everybody in the chat by now knows exactly why Sanchez tipped the $4. So, we're gonna, when we get back, We're going to take it to 69 first, just so Sanchez can get his kicks real quick, and then we'll tack that 10 on there too from Leaf for Life. Leaf from Life, I think. I'm not sure. A lot of people don't realize that you can feel a certain way and take different action, right? That's a thing. That's a thing. All right, so let's see here. Sanchez with the 4. We know why Sanchez tipped the 4. We already know. So I'm going to let him soak that up for a second. I'm going to let Sanchez soak that 69 up for a second. Get his kicks. Thank you, Sanchez. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. There you go. Take it in. Take it in. Take it in. There it is. There it is. Now we're going to tack that 10 on there from Leaf from Life. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the $10 tip. I appreciate you. Hey, huge shout out to all of our tippers tonight, man. Huge shout out. Miss Moon, Sanchez, Leaf from Life, Pooty, thank you guys so much. Can we get some emojis in the chat for these guys? We should always show our tippers some love and some support, man, some gratitude. They help keep this show on the road. So for those of you who are not in a position where you can support, that is absolutely fine, but we should at least show some gratitude for those that do, man, because they really help us out to keep the show going for all of you. So let's show them some love, dude. Let's take a minute just to show our tippers some love. Can we get some emojis going in the chat? Get some gratitude going. Gratitude is a great multiplier. Let's get some gratitude going. Let's see. Let's see. I'm late. You almost missed it, dude. You almost missed your chance, Sanchez. You almost missed it. Over COVID system, took me a minute to realize. I'm backtracking on the chat here. I'm a little behind. Took me a minute to realize what was happening, but then I became so disinterested I fell asleep mid-panic attack. Nice. Nice. Losing the fear of fear. Just doing your thing. No, that's understandable, Arnold. That's understandable. Of course, you know, anxiety makes you feel like you don't want to do the things you want to do. Of course, that's its job. Its job is to make you think there's a danger and you need to fight or flee or freeze from this danger, right? That's anxiety's job. So of course you don't necessarily feel like doing the things you want to do when you're anxious, but you're going to go against that advice anyway because the advice anxiety is giving is horse crap, right? So you're going to go against that, live your life anyway, and you're going to prove to your brain that there is no real danger, right? Wonder Bro, what do you think about the Discord Year Award? Can we do it? I read that yesterday, and that was honestly a very interesting idea. I'm still tossing it around in my head. The monthly thing wouldn't work because then there would just be an overwhelming amount of badges. But the yearly thing might be fun. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Remember, guys, self-pity will not get you out of this thing. Different choices will get you out of it. Living your life, okay, with an accepting attitude, a bring it on attitude, living your life and having productive days regardless of the way that you feel, right, while you have the accepting attitude, that's what's going to change your life. Self-pity is not going to change your life. And I understand what you're going through. I understand it's not a walk in the park, and I feel for you, believe me, from the bottom of my heart, I do. I've been there. But I'm just giving you what's going to help. I'm not going to condone what's not going to help. I'm going to give you what's going to help, right? Hey, it doesn't matter the time of day, Ghost. It's all the same, man. It doesn't matter the time of day, whether it be morning, afternoon, in the middle of the night. It's all the same. Made the live stream, thought I completely missed it. What's up, Eclipse? You're just in time, dude. Well, you're not just in time. You're actually fashionably late, but you're still here, and that's what matters. That's what matters. Better late than never, as they say. Let's switch on back over to the real mic here. There we go. Now that's the quality mic right there. Shout out to Darcy again for the new mic from the Amazon wish list. I appreciate you, Darcy. Shout out, shout out. Sanchez is number 1 on our leaderboards, man, for this month for top supporter. So huge shout out to Sanchez as well. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. From here on out, we're changing our attitude, right? You say you wake up in a few minutes, anxiety starts, and here comes the thoughts. That's all fine. We're changing our attitude. This is fine. I need this. We got an attitude of, instead of I don't want this, we're going to have an attitude of I need this. I need this to retrain my brain. These feelings, these thoughts might not be the funnest thing in the world, but I need this. I'm going to get up and have a productive day anyway. and I'm going to leave these thoughts and feelings alone. Get up and have that productive day. I need this. I want this. Let's do it, right? That's the new attitude. That's what we're getting to. So you work on that. You work on that, and you're not always going to succeed, right? You're going to have ups and downs, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You're going to have ups and downs. You're not always going to succeed at that. But we're going to keep working at that until we do, right? We're going to keep scoring points, right? We're going to keep scoring points. No, that's understandable, Arnold. Again, you know, that's what it wants you to think. That's its job, right? But because this is not a real illness, this is just a faulty wiring going on. We're going to go against those false advice from the brain, right? And we're going to do what we want to do. So, and you know, we're going to keep that accepting attitude while we do what we want to do, right? But it's understandable. I completely get what you're saying, and that makes sense. But at the same time, you know how to retrain your brain now. So now we got to do it. Now we got to score some points. What a good stream tonight. What a good stream tonight. That's it, David. That's it, David. I absolutely love the fact that Jack Black is on the screen. Now that's okay, Arnold. Even those feelings. Feeling follows action, not the other way around. A lot of people wait for their feeling to roll around, then they'll do what they want to do. No, it's the other way around. Feeling follows action. Feeling follows action. It's not about anything clicking because it's already clicked. It's about doing now. It's about doing. It's not about anything clicking. It's about doing. It's about keeping those productive days coming. Keep giving me those productive days. Keep getting after it. There you go, Pootie. There you go, Pootie. Trying to get back into old hobbies again. That's the changes I'm talking about. Congrats. I'm still having obsessive thoughts and fear from anxiety, but I don't stop. I keep on doing. Good. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. Keep giving me productive days. Keep bringing me productive days. Get back into the old hobbies. Keep living for you. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got to keep it up. Just like the title of this stream says, guys, everything we've talked about tonight, you got to make real changes. Getting back in the old hobby, right? Even though you feel anxious, you're going against what the anxiety wants you to do, which is to lay in bed or whatever your coping methods are, right? You're going against anxiety's advice. You're doing what you want to do. You're having productive days, and you're no longer fighting with those thoughts and feelings mentally. You're having an accepting attitude. Congrats. Keep it up. It's Leaf from Life. There you go. Got it. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that tip, man. It really means a ton to me. Thank you. 72-day streak, absolutely insane, guys. I can't express my gratitude for that enough. Thank you so much. Awesome stream tonight. Where'd you find your motivation on a daily basis since it takes time to rewire? Just wanting to live differently, man. Just wanting something different for myself. You got to understand, though, NS, I think sometimes you forget that I knew about acceptance for a very long time before I started doing it. I think you forget that I knew about acceptance and wasn't doing it for a very long time, right? I think you forget that. It took some time to eventually just say, you know what, I'm going to get after it every single day. This is not about odds being in your favor, Style Alert. This is not about odds being in your favor. This comes down to, do you want to do it, yes or no? No, we're not going to talk about odds being in your favor. We're not going to talk about the stars aligning. We're not going to discuss your zodiac sign. We're not going to discuss how many crystals you own. This comes down to one question. Do you want it, yes or no? And if the answer to that question is yes, you'll get after it every single day. If the answer to that question is no, then we'll talk about odds, and we'll discuss odds, and we'll discuss zodiac signs and crystals and all this BS. But if the answer to that question is yes, then we'll get after it every single day, right? So it's not a matter of odds. It's just a question. Do you want it, yes or no? And if the answer to that question is yes, we'll get after it every single day, right? Right? Hey, I love to hear that, Pootie. I love to hear it. Beautiful, beautiful people. You say I do. Okay, you say I do. Well, then let's get after it. You got everything you need. Let's get after it. Let's not discuss odds. Why are we discussing odds for? Get after it. Right? Right? We don't need to discuss odds. You got it. You got it. You say you want it. That's enough. Right? So don't sit there and think about odds. Who cares about odds? We're not talking about odds. What do you mean odds? Right? You already got it. You already got it. You already got it. I have to go. Thank you for the stream, Wonder Bro. Great message. Thank you for watching, David. Really appreciate it, dude. Hey, get up and have a productive day, man. Kick today's ass, regardless of how you feel. Kick today's ass, regardless of the thoughts or feelings you're having, right? Do what you want to do today, regardless of the thoughts and feelings, while you keep that accepting attitude. That's the two main keys. Get after it. We're not going to talk about odds. We're not going to talk about can I's. You either do or you don't, right? And every single one of you are absolutely capable. Every single one of you, absolutely capable. There's not actual studies because there's no way to actually study that. There's no test that can be done on that. At the very best, it's a conspiracy theory that we don't discuss around here because it's full of bullshit, second fear, and fear-mongering. Take it from someone who pissed in 2-liter bottles. You can do it if you want to do it, right? It comes down to what you want to do. You can use the cop-out excuses if you want. It's not going to get you anywhere, right? And you're better than that. You're better than that. Yeah, so at the very best, it's conspiracy theory. There's no way to actually test that. There's no way to actually test that or actually study that. Don't use cop-out excuses. Either you want it or you don't, chat. We can make excuses all day long, but either you want it or you don't. Either you get up and you kick ass or you don't. Either you get up and you have a productive day regardless of how you feel or you don't. Either you get up and you succumb and you crumble to the anxiety and you stop living or you don't, right? And my message for you today is, haven't you had enough? Aren't you ready? Don't you want a better way of living? What do you got to lose? These are all my messages to you, right? Time to make some changes. Time to make some changes. Time to kick ass regardless, right? I think it's time. Don't you think it's time? I mean, we're in a new year here, people. We're in a new year. We're in a new year here, right? Isn't it time? Isn't it time? Who's with me? Isn't it time? We're in a new year. I think it's time, man. I think it's time. I think it's time to make some changes to live differently, right? regardless of how you feel. I think it's time to have productive days, regardless of how you feel. I think it's time to accept these thoughts and feelings while you do what you want to do. I think it's time to retrain the brain, don't you? Don't you? I think it's time. True, how would you even test that? You can't. That's why it's a conspiracy theory. Take it from people who's been there, myself included, right? All the people that come in here every single stream talking about how much better they feel. All the people that come in here every single stream talking about how their life has completely changed, right? Take it from those people. They've been there. Don't take it from the fucking soccer moms who get on blog posts and write their stupid blog post about how, oh, you know, the best you can ever do is just manage it. You know, when I drop little Jimmy off at the soccer game, I go to my yoga classes and I balance my chakras and you know, fuck all that bullshit. You know, who are you going to take it from? You're going to take it from the soccer moms who want to write these blog posts, or you're going to take it from the people who have been in the fucking trenches, right? Who do you want to take it from? Do you want to take it from the people who just talk shit on the internet blogs and the soccer moms who go to their yoga classes after they fucking drop Jimmy off at the soccer game, who's never actually felt what it feels like to have this real strong anxiety or be sensitized a day in their life? You gonna take it from them, or are you gonna take it from the fucking troopers who have been in the fucking trenches pissing in bottles? Who are you gonna take it from? Who are you gonna take it? Who do you want to take advice from? I'll leave that up to you, because that's your choice to make, right? But me personally, I'm gonna take it from the people who's been in the trenches and who are no longer in the trenches, right? That's who I'm going to take it from. You can take it from whoever you want to take it from, but I'm going to take it from the people who have been in the trenches. That particular topic always gets me a bit heated, because I used to read all these stupid little blog posts and stuff from people who didn't know their head from their ass, and it would fill me with all these dumb bullshit ideas. At one point, it had me trying, like, tapping on my forehead and bullshit. So that particular topic always gets me a bit riled up, because, you know, it's so much horseshit that's out there. From people who've never actually experienced what true sensitization is a day in their fucking lives, right? Just because Marianne has a little bit of anxiety over a big test coming up, now she thinks she's this anxiety guru who's been in the trenches with it all. Oh, sweetheart, go lay down. You have no idea. You have no idea what it means to be sensitized. You know, you have a little bit of nervousness because you got a big test coming up. Okay, sweetheart. You know, that doesn't give you the right to write an entire blog post on what to do about it. Go lay down. Drink your smoothie. Go lay down. Go lay down before you get yourself hurt. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Spend like 6 months pissing in a 2-liter because there's so much fear that you don't know what the fuck's going on. Do that first, then you can write your blog post. So here's the thing. Back when I didn't know what was going on and I was pissing in bottles because I didn't know what was going on, I was adding all this second fear. I stopped living, right? My brain seen this, okay? I was reading the same blog post from people that had no clue what was going on, and I actually thought they did. Wow. I'm glad I woke up to that. I'm glad I woke up to that. Son's mom, who's giving me a second chance. Possessive. So you could say possessive is like a form of jealousy. Jealousy usually comes in the form of thoughts, right? Become more aware of your thoughts. We were talking earlier about how you can feel a feeling and have a thought and not have to act in a certain way because of it, right? You can go against it. You can accept a feeling and thought but still do what you want to do. Still make the right choice, right? Which takes effort because you're going against the advice of the brain that you've programmed to be this way. You know, but that's where reprogramming comes into play. So I would give you the same advice. If you want to have that attitude, it will be an S. But if you want to change that to an attitude of I need this, let's do it, I want it, right? If you slowly work on that attitude, it won't be. There's not a way, Style Alert. There's not a way. There's not a way to test that. I've read into all that. There's not a way to test that. I don't give a fuck what their doctor said. There's not a way to test that. I don't recommend Googling, but go Google it. But hey, sometimes, no matter how hard you try, people are going to add second fear. What can you do about it? I'm going to let you make that choice for yourself. If you sit around all night worried about an imbalance, that's on you, man. That's on you. Hey, you guys got to make your own choices, but I hope you make the right ones, right? I care about you enough to say I hope you make the right ones. Yeah, that's better. Does it? Does it? There you go. We'll we'll chuck your autocorrect in the ocean on that one. Hey, I'll say this. I'll say this, Alan. So, a lot of thinking about the past going on, and of course, you can't help when you get thoughts about the past or the future, whatever. You can't help your intrusive thoughts. But what you can do is you can stop feeding into them. So, a thought might come along that says, you know, she did this to you, she did that to you. We're trying to move on from that, right? So, what we're going to do is we're not going to feed into that anymore. We're going to enjoy our day regardless of the thoughts. We're not going to pour a bunch of gas on the fire. We're not going to do any of that. We're not going to do any of that, right? So, really, the advice that I give about anxiety can be used there in your situation as well. I think a lot of people do, Christopher, until they prove to themselves that they can improve, right? I think a lot of people do until they prove to themselves that they can improve. Once you prove it to yourself, then that kind of puts that to rest. But I wish people would take it from the people who's been there, right? Instead of taking it from the people who are just trying to make guesses at what the problem could be. No, take it from the people who's been there and who are no longer there. Take it from those people. They've got actual proof, right? Instead of the people who are just making guesses that can't be proved. I would take it from the people who's got actual proof. Yeah, check it, please. My bad. No, you're good. You're good, Style Alert. I just didn't want you doing that to yourself. I get a bit fired up about it because I just don't want people doing that to themselves, because there's such a better way for you to live. And there's so much improvement that can be made. And I just get a little bit fired up about it because I'm like, don't do this to yourself. So I get it. It was a typo. I get it. But regardless, even if it was a typo, my message still, I still stand by my message. We call it the two main keys, Alan. Stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings. So that means you don't get up into your head about them. You just let your thoughts and feelings be as they are, accepting attitude, right? And you make decisions for you. You live your life. You do what you want to do, not what all these thoughts and feelings what they want you to do. Yeah, man. I would just I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you're all allowed to make your own choices, right? I can't make choices for you, clearly. But what I can say is, I would be smart about it. You know, I would take the advice from the people who's been there, and not from the people that are just making guesses, right? I would take the advice from all the people here that have recovered. There's a lot of them here, right? Myself included. I would take the advice from these people that's actually been there, not from the people that are just making guesses. I think she's referring to the amygdala. All right, you guys, we are approaching, or we are after, we are beyond. That's a better word to use. We are after the 1 hour mark. We are beyond the 1 hour mark. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna wrap it up here. I love you guys so much. Been an excellent stream. We made a lot of good points tonight. I believe we got some new people joining us on board. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Leave a like real quick. It does help the channel grow. I'm gonna go ahead and get our song ready. We're going to listen to our song. We're going to get out of here. Have a productive, kick-ass day or night, regardless of how you feel, man. Do what you want to do, not what the anxiety wants you to do. All right, you guys, I love you. I'm going to get out of here. And until next time, as always, stay awesome. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Love you guys.
Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone